Hey guys, what's up? It's Yana. Welcome to day 11 of Camp NaNoWriMo July 2023. I'm sitting out here on my balcony because we've had a lovely rainstorm and it's really nice outside. Today's update is very boring. I did a little bit of work on 3 of my projects. I did a little bit of translating, a little bit of editing, and a little bit more editing on my own book on my middle grade. So that's what I've done today. I haven't yet done anything in my fanfic or in my fantasy romance. And my little topic that I kind of want to touch on today is to what extent do we cater to our readers, or just to readers in general, to the public, to the people who may pick up our book, and to what extent do we make sure that it's something that the biggest number of people are going to want to pick up. And I think that's really difficult because I personally have absolutely nothing against being commercial. I think that you can be commercial and still be good. But obviously there are things that are purely created because the people who create them, they know that this is going to be very popular, even if it's not necessarily very good. There are just certain things that you know are going to sell. So for example, one of those things is billionaire romance books. There's like entire websites on the internet which are full of those free novels, and they have thousands of reads. Sorry, seagulls are so loud out here. But yeah, so I even attempted to write a book like that, and I probably mentioned it in some of my videos, and I just couldn't quite do it. I did end up writing a billionaire romance, but number one, it was a gay romance, which by definition, most of those books are read by heterosexual women, and the characters are mostly heterosexual couples. So by definition, that made it a little less popular. And also, I just couldn't make myself include the usual tropes in it that would make it even more popular. So I just couldn't make myself do that because those were not things that I was interested in writing. And so while I think it's fine to kind of pick up on trends, like for example, if young adult is popular, you sit down and you start writing young adult because you know that that has a chance of selling. Or if crime is popular and you feel like you can write crime, you go ahead and do that. It's still there's a line somewhere usually that you can't cross in your own writing, and I don't know if you should cross or not. I don't feel like it's necessarily selling out if you can write to order, right? I've done things where somebody has just commissioned me to create something, be it a song or a play or a piece of writing, and I've done it, and sometimes that actually turns out really well because I quite like writing within certain kind of confines. So I like when I have a certain prompt, or it has to be a certain type of story. I feel like that focuses me and it can help. But also a lot of the time that work has not been the best thing I've ever created because it didn't came from me. But there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with earning money from your writing or being commissioned or being paid to do something, so long as you're not creating something that's, you know, immoral or harmful. And at the same time, obviously we all want to be popular, but this is a question that for the past several years when I've been writing, since I seriously got back into writing, because for a very long period of time while I was doing my PhD, I really didn't have the time or mental energy to properly write as a writer does. Since I've come back to writing, this is a question that I always ask myself with all of my projects. would this sell better if I included, like I mentioned in a previous video, more sex scenes? Or would this sell better if I changed the ages of the characters slightly to target it to a certain type of audience? And it's quite difficult. I'm not very good at doing that. Even with things like fan fiction, I have this thing where I always get very interested in and very excited about, for example, unusual pairings and unpopular pairings in fan fiction, because I just really like seeing what happens. I like what if types of scenarios. And obviously that's not what people are going to click on most, because most people are looking for, certain tags, certain tropes, certain pairings that are very ubiquitous. And if you have decided to pair some characters that nobody's going to search for, then you're not going to get that many readers. But then there's something very rewarding about being in kind of a small niche group of people, because then at least you know that the people who read you are in some way like-minded. And I think as long as I have at least one person that has let me know that they really enjoy what I'm doing and they're reading it and I know it's their cup of tea, I think that's usually enough for me. I mean, obviously it's great when there's more, but I think one is enough for me so long as I myself am also enjoying it. Anyway, that's my little kind of chat for today. I do need to get back to work and write a little bit more in fantasy romance, which kind of that prompted this conversation as well, because I was wondering what I could put in it that would make it more marketable. And I will probably also do a little bit in my fanfiction. The website, the AO3 archive, has been down for the last few days. Apparently they had a DDoS attack, so I probably can't upload anything there even if I write it, but I quite like keeping the streak of doing at least a little bit of work in all of my projects, so I'll go ahead and do that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!